Hello, and welcome to the HelpsNet presentation. I'm Doug Jordan, the founder of HelpsNet. I'm excited to introduce you to a revolutionary program that could drastically change your life and that of your friends. To begin with, let me ask you a couple questions. Has there ever been a time in your life where you could have used a helping hand, but there was none available? Or have you ever wanted to help one of your friends, but you weren't able to because you didn't have the funds available to be a help or the time to help? Well, the Helps Network has been created to provide you with the ability to create a network of friends who would all want to help you if a need was ever to arise in your life. Now, it also could give you the possibility to be a help to others in return. Now, before I continue to explain the free program and how it works, let me give you a little background of how I came about the idea. Now, as a pastor, I frequently come across people that need help but just don't have the resources to get the help they need. For example, my dad. He had a serious stroke. With his Medicare insurance, the deductibles, the co-pays, and the 24-hour in-home care that he now needs, he's been strapped with an enormous financial burden that he'll have difficulty in paying on the fixed retirement income that he has. What is he supposed to do? Well, as family, we can certainly help, and we're going to try. But that's still not going to cover the entire expense. And his network of friends, well, they're very limited, and all of his friends are in a similar situation. And yes, the church and the community, they could help, but they're overwhelmed also with so many people in need. So I kept telling myself, something needs to be done. Not long ago, a pastor of a small church mentioned to me that the church was in a little crisis situation and he needed to raise some extra cash to take care of the critical need that had come up. His people gave all that they could give, and they still came up short in raising the money that they needed. Now, where can this church find the much-needed extra funds that were beyond the congregation's reach? Well, this situation has played itself out over and over again. Only the names and locations have changed. Now, with all of these situations in mind, I begin to think, how do prominent figures like Billy Graham or some of the guests on Donald Trump's Celebrity Apprentice, or how are they able to raise enormous amounts of money for a project that they're promoting? Well, the reason is they didn't experience difficulty because they had at their disposal a network of friends around the world who were all willing to be a help to them and meet the need that they presented. Some of them did it even in advance, have people set up to come help them. And so, with a network, for example, of Billy Graham that has like 5 million people in it, there's no problem of him collecting money if he just informs them of the need, and then each of them would send him just $1, he would have $5 million to work with. I'm kind of reminded of the old barn raisings, which are still being practiced today in many of our Amish communities. Here, the entire community pitches in to help one of their neighbors to build a house or simply raise that barn. It's just friends helping friends. Now, there are several insurance companies like MediShare, Samaritan Industries, or the Healthcare Sharing Ministry, which is called HCSM, and they're all based on members sharing the cost of health treatment. Now all these circumstances kind of combined gave me a great idea. Now, wouldn't it be great if you and I had a lot of friends who are all willing to help us in our time of need on a mutual basis? Why don't I just start an organization of friends kind of on a network basis where the needs are shared, and then those that are in your network, if they freely choose to do so, they can help meet those needs. And all of this can be done on a mutual friendship basis. Just think of the joy that would bring, meeting the needs, sharing with others, and of course, making a lot of new friends. Of course, this is all a great idea, but it certainly isn't a new concept. The question is, how am I going to make it work? Well, I believe I've come up with the answer. in the HelpsNet program. I've created a way that each individual can build a network of friends of 55,000 people, actually over 55,000 people, who are all willing to help you if they can, and it's simple and it's free. Yeah, you could have a network where 55,000 friends that you could communicate a need to, and they're basically promising that if they can help you, that they will. And it's so simple. Actually, to start this program, you really only need to know 6 people. You need to know 6 friends to begin with, and you're going to personally then commit to help 6 personal friends yourself. I'll explain that to you in a little more detail later. And these 6 friends that we're talking about, that's the only people that you will ever have to help or who will ever be contacting you, the ones that you'll be helping. Of course, the greatest thing about the program is that it's free. It doesn't cost you one dime to be a member of the Helps Network and participate in all of the wonderful network of friends and the benefits that it has. Everything is absolutely voluntary. I'm simply providing you a platform to create your own network of friends, all who would be willing to help you if the time should come where you need help. Then also allowing you to help others if you want to. And someone asked me, well, how can I help others if I can barely help myself? Well, I'll answer that in 2 ways. First of all, you need to remember that you are only volunteering to help 6 people. We're going to call them your personal friends. These are the only ones who will ever be asking you for help. You will only help them if you can. Remember, there's no requirement for somebody to help someone to be part of the Helps Network. We all desire to be a help to somebody, but remember, it's only if we can do it. Now, the second part to answer that question is, I've anticipated this, that we wouldn't be able to maybe help everybody, so I've built into the HelpsNet program a feature that is called the Friendship Enablement Blessing. It's basically a simple gesture of kindness that could give you the ability to help those 6 personal friends if they should ever have a financial need. Now let's begin to talk about how we're going to make this happen. In other words, how do I build my network? As a foundation, you'll need to know just a couple key points. The first one is that number 6. You are only committing to help 6 people. Another way of saying that is only 6 people will ever be asking you for help. Number 2 is you will only be sponsoring 6 people into the program and then mentoring them to fulfill the membership agreement, which is basically to sponsor 6 people into the program and help them sponsor 6 people. The third thing that's very important, and that is in order to be sponsored into the program, you've got to be sponsored by somebody you personally know. In other words, it's someone who is in the program, a member of HelpsNet, that knows you, and they're going to sponsor you into the program. Now, this is how that we maintain the integrity of the program. Since everybody kind of knows everybody, nothing questionable will ever happen without everybody knowing about it. This way the program kind of governs itself automatically. Let me give you an example of how the process works. Someone you personally know is a member of the Helps Network. This person will be your sponsor. Now you'll sign up under him or her and be part of their network of friends. Let me give you an example. I have here a list of friends, and let's say I am your sponsor. I'm going to sponsor you in, and then I'm going to introduce you to people that I personally know, which is in this example, I'm your sponsor, You don't know these people, I do. So I'm going to introduce them to you so you also can personally know them. I'm going to introduce Paul, Lucas, Ashley, Tony, and Jacob. So I sponsor you in, and then I'm going to introduce you to 5 people. All right? Now, your sponsor will do the same. He'll introduce you to these 5 people, and these are the 5 people that we're going to call your personal friends. All right? Now, these 5 will become your new friends. Now, you already know your sponsor. Your sponsor knows these people. Now they're introduced to you, and you can get to know them personally. You'll be able to contact them. You'll be able to call them. You can email them. If you want to go over to their house and you mutually agreed to do it, you can do that. They'll become your personal friends. And these are the friends that you're going to be sending what we call a birthday card to each year, just to let them know that you're participating in the Helps Network. See, by sending them a card after you join, the website will automatically record your participation, notify your friends that you're now in their network. Now, we'll discuss how the birthday cards play a bigger role later on. And now remember, your sponsor and these 5 new friends, they're the ones that will make up the people that you're committing to help should they ever contact you with a need. Now, I repeat, it's only these 6 people who will ever be the ones asking you for any help. Remember, there's no requirement to help these 6 friends, but you're just telling them that I will help you if I can. Now, these 6 personal friends are not part of your network. You are part of their network. All right? Now, in turn, you are going to start sponsoring people, and you'll sponsor these 6 people into HelpsNet, people that you personally know. Remember, no one can be sponsored into HelpsNet unless they're personally known by the person who's sponsoring them. All right, so you'll sponsor someone in, and then you'll simply help them to fulfill the membership requirement, which is what? Sponsoring 6 people, helping them to sponsor 6 people. Now, when you join, you are going to be asked to sign a membership agreement. Now, this membership agreement that we have here is very simple. This will kind of explain it all to you. It's the purpose of the club is to establish and maintain an ongoing network of friends who are all united together for the common purpose of maintaining an ongoing friendship. We believe in the principles of helps, sharing, and giving. It's our desire to voluntarily help friends and share those friendship birthday cards and the gifts with other members. The next thing is we have a code, and that is we believe in honesty, loyalty towards our fellow members. We want to promote respect and integrity within the Helps Network. The members' duties, responsibilities, what I said is simply to commit to sending your sponsor and the 5 new friends that were introduced to you, those are your personal friends that they'll introduce, a card, and we'll talk about it later, this optional $10 gift or other gift the same month each year. And you're going to help them, if possible, any way that you can. And the last thing, of course, is the club goal, and that is to be a friend and to make new friends and to be a blessing and encouragement. Could be spiritually, could be physically, could be financially to all those friends. Because remember, it's a team effort. There's always strength in numbers. All right, so that is part of the membership agreement into HelpsNet. Now, the 6 friends that you sponsor will now become the beginning of your network of friends. Now, as their sponsor, you're going to introduce them to the 5 other personal friends that you have, just as your sponsor did with you. And this process operates in kind of the same manner as, the forbidden chain letter. And here's where you will take a number 1 spot as it changes of your personal friends. The last of the personal friends will be dropped. The person you sponsor will now have a new set of 6 personal friends, you being one of them. Now, let me give you a chart that kind of explains this. You have your personal friends up here. Then you are going to sponsor someone, which will be on the first level, we'll call it. You will sponsor the person, and you'll introduce that person to these friends: Doug, Paul, Lucas, Ashley, and Tony. Now, why aren't you introducing them to Jacob? Because you took Jacob's place. Now, for that person you are sponsoring, you are now the sponsor, just as I was your sponsor. So now you are the sponsor. The 6 people you sponsor, that first level, will now have you as their sponsor, and then me, Paul, Lucas, Ashley, and Tony. Then when that person sponsors 6 people, he will do what you did. He takes your place, so you're in your network, the second level of your network. The sponsor then becomes it. You become the second person. Then Doug, then Paul, then Lucas, and Ashley, and Tony drops off. So kind of the chain letter principle to where the person takes the place, and then the last person falls off. And you'll see that as you go down, remember number 6? As you go down, you're sponsoring 6 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. By the time you sponsor your last person, you're the last one on the list of the people in this level that has been sponsored. You're the number 6 person that's up here. So as soon as this person sponsors someone else, you're off the cliff. You're gone. And so now your network would be complete. All right, I hope that makes some sense to you. We'll come back in a moment and we'll talk a little bit more about how that actually works. Now, if you were to actually, I have a chart, and this chart may help you a little bit more. Here is a list of the levels of how many people are actually being sponsored by you. When you sponsor your first level, there's 6 people. Once those people sponsor 6 people, it goes to 36 people. And then as the next level goes, they'll sponsor 3 people. And the next one, 1,200 people, then 77,000. Once it gets down to that last level where you're the last one on there, there's 46,000 people that are in there. I actually have another chart which kind of sums the whole thing up that I'm talking about. I know everybody's going to freak out because I made it look like a pyramid, but it's not a pyramid scheme. The first level, that's you. On the first level, you're the sponsor. You're sponsoring 6 people. You're the sponsor. These are the people that you're introducing them to, the 5 friends. The second level of this is now your network, not the 6 friends that you're sponsoring. You're now one of those 6 friends to all of your network. So the second level, he would have John, you, and then the 4 friends. The third level would have Bob, John, you, and as it goes down, so you can see on level 5, you're the 4th person, and down at level 6, which is the very last one, you can see you're the last one in there before you get dropped off, and there's 46,000 people that are in that level. And it shows as it progresses, it's very important because the numbers really add up. That's why we're saying at the end, if your network was to get complete, in your network, you would have a total of 55,986 people that would be in your network. All of those people are the ones that are saying, you know what? I'm going to help my sponsor and 5 friends. For every one of these people, you are one of those personal friends, because all of this happens until you drop off, then you are no longer going to have the responsibility of having personal friends. So this would be your particular network. Now again, the number at the end represents how many friends are on the level. All right? So here we have the list of personal friends. And that graph shows how simple it is for friends to just multiply as you go through. Now, fortunately, the HelpsNet website takes care of all the adjusting of your personal friends automatically and takes care of all the math. It'd be a real pain to really try to remember all those people, and that's where the program comes in to be a help to you. Remember, all you need to do is just sponsor 6 people that you personally know into HelpsNet. Now, of course, you would give them all the assistance they need in sponsoring their 6 people, and then the network takes care of itself. You just sponsored 6, and just those 6, you're only sponsoring 6, you're only helping 6. And if everybody does their part, the network goes down and everybody follows the membership agreement. It's just a matter of mathematics. And this new network of over 55,000 friends are now your network. In other words, you are one of 6 personal friends to each of those in the network that we're having, that they're saying, if you have a need, I'll help if I can. And so this is a great graph that we have. Now, if I do need to ask friends for help, how does that work? Well, if you remember, all these friends that we're talking about have sent you a friendship or birthday card when they joined, letting you know that they're part of your network and they're willing to be your friend and help if necessary. Well, they were introduced to you by the personally known sponsor that you had, the person, and now they have the ability to personally know you. Okay, you both share phone numbers, you'll share emails, you'll share mailing addresses. Remember, because you're personally knowing each other. That's a very important key to understand. You say, well, obviously that'd be extremely difficult for me to call every one of these 55,000 people, letting them know about some need. So the Helps Network has provided a way for you to contact them all through an email server that we have that's set up. And this makes it very simple. And this is all explained once you join in a membership dashboard that you'll have. Now, your network of friends, that's your 55,000 people, they learn of your need, and those who are serious about wanting to help you, they may contact you. Somebody says, oh no, 55,000 people contacting me. Well, you know what? If 55,000 people wanted to call me because they wanted to help me, I think I'd answer the phone every time. They want to help. Now, I personally wouldn't mind them if they're trying to help. Now, isn't that what friends are for? Now, each individual in your network, again, has the opportunity to examine your need. They're the ones that decide if they want to help or not. Remember, that help goes directly to you. The Helps Network, we don't accept any money. We don't channel any money for you. There is no money involved through the Helps Network. We're only providing a platform for you to develop a network of friends who may be able to help you in the time of need. There's no requirement for anybody to help. You know, if they want to, they can. If they don't want to, they don't have to. If they do, it's the parties that involved that will make arrangements on their own. Now, friends can help in a lot of different ways. It's not always money. You know, if they live close enough, they might be able to come physically help you, move, or with some problem. Maybe you need to get spiritual help or prayer, and prayer never hurts. Everybody can use a little bit of prayer. And it could be financial help, which would go directly to you. In other words, if you were able to let 55,986 people know that you had a need, and they all sent you just $1, do you realize that would be a lot of help? If only half of them sent you $5, then you would have $139 in your pocket. If only 1 in 10 people sent you $10, you would have over $55,000 of help. Or actually, one person could completely meet your need. It kind of reminds me of a friend of my wife's. This friend was a member of one of the Christian insurance companies, and she had cancer. And after the treatment, the insurance company paid most of the hospital and the doctor costs, but she still had a balance of about $90,000. The insurance company said, well, they had a lot of members, and they were willing to help people if they ever had this particular situation come about. Well, after she contacted just a few of the members of that insurance company, in just 2 weeks, a couple of people paid her entire bill. You know, there's still kind people in this old troubled world that we have that want to be a blessing and help people that are really in need. And this is what the Helps Network is all about. Now, if you're like me, I would love to help people, but I just don't have the ability to do that. We talked about that earlier. Well, anticipating this particular problem, I've come up with a way to make it possible for you to have the ability to help others. Remember when I talked earlier about that friendship enablement blessing? Well, here's how that works. Remember those friendship birthday cards that you're sending when you join to those 6 personal friends? Immediately after you become a member is when you send those cards out. Well, I'm suggesting, just a suggestion, that with those cards you take the opportunity to send a small gift just to be a blessing to them. That is, when you send that birthday card out to your 6 personal friends, I'm suggesting just throw a $10 bill in there. I mean, after all, it is a birthday card, and people do give gifts, and people do help people and send money on their birthdays. And every year, you'll be sending this friendship birthday card to these 6 personal friends on the anniversary of your membership in the Helps Network. Now, can you imagine what this would do for you if you received a $10 gift in a birthday card from 55,000 friends? I mean, it may not happen all at once because they're going to join at different times, but let's say in 1 year, everybody joined, you would that year have $550,000 every year come into you if you had a complete network. If only half of the people in a network sent you a $10 bill, that would be $225,000 that a person would have every year. Now, wouldn't that extra cash be a blessing? What if just like we talked about earlier, 1 in 10 people just sent you $10? One of every 10 in your network. Well, you would have every year with a complete network $55,000 a year extra cash that you could be a blessing to other people. Remember, you only have 6 personal friends, so it's not like it's breaking the bank to send them a little gift and to be generous. Matter of fact, who said you had to send $10? I'm just suggesting that you do that. If you want to send $1, you can send $1. If you want to send $5, I mean, I'd be thrilled to receive that. I mean, you may want to send $20. You might send $50. You see, that's completely up to you about how big of a blessing that you want to be to your personal friends. Now, see, in my opinion, that would do 2 things. First of all, you would have the ability to help your personal friends or anybody else that you know that really had a serious need. The second thing is, with this new blessing, it puts you in a position where you wouldn't need to ask anybody for help. Everybody could use a couple extra dollars to be a help. You see, it's very important that you understand something, though, that this friendship enablement blessing, it's only a suggestion. No one is required to participate in the friendship blessing to be a member of the Helps Network. See, it's because require you to give $10 or any amount of money with that friendship birthday card, then that would make this an illegal chain letter scheme. And we certainly do not want Helps Network to be participating in any such thing. You let your conscience be your guide. Let me repeat it, say it this way. You do not have to send $10 with a card. I know you're going to ask the question, do I have to send $10 with each of the cards? No, we can't require that because to do so would make this an illegal chain letter scheme. So just let your conscience be your guide. Now let me quickly tell you how you can join this great network of friends. If you personally know someone who is a member of the Helps Network, let them explain the program to you completely, because as a member, they'll have access to a lot of things that are given to them to know. And then you'll go to their personal HelpsNet webpage. It will usually read www.helpsnet.com/your sponsor's name. And then you just go to that personal website that they have, and you just hit a Join Now button. Or just go to HelpsNet.com and you can simply type in your sponsor's name, and after you hit Join Now, a button will appear to your sponsor's personal web page. Now remember, your sponsor is the one responsible to help you to understand the program. He'll help you sponsor your 6 friends, answer any questions that may come up. We've tried to make the sign-up process so simple, even I could do it. Anybody can do it. As a matter of fact, I personally will take you through the sign-up process step by step with a video explanation on every page. You'll get to know me definitely after you sign up, because we don't want anybody to miss out on this wonderful opportunity. Even if you don't know somebody personally that is in the Helps Network, you can still go to HelpsNet.com and I will personally become your friend. I will guide you in the right direction. Now, before I close, I do want to mention just 2 other opportunities. You see, the Helps Network is free to use. There's no charge to become a standard member of HelpsNet. Now, just as I'm asking you to be a help to others, the HelpsNet program is my gift to you to try to be a help. It's taken me 12 years and several $1,000s to make HelpsNet a reality. And to keep the Helps Network up and running, we've got to pay for servers. We've got to pay our programmer. He's got to be on a retainer to constantly make sure that things are up to date and working correctly. Now, if HelpsNet is not able to stay online, then everybody loses. So after you join the Helps Network, you'll go to your personal dashboard and you'll have the friends where you send out your birthday cards. You'll also have the opportunity here, along with those cards, a chance to maybe give a gift to the HelpsNet program. That way it helps us to stay up and running and pays for a lot of the costs that it takes to keep it going. Now, if you find it in your heart to give a gift to HelpsNet, keep us online, we are surely thankful to you for all that you give us. Now, another thing, to be a member of the Helps Network and take advantage of the program, it gives you the opportunity to build that 55,000 friends. Now again, you are not required to give a gift. It's just you deciding to be nice. Because to be a member of the Helps Network, take advantage of the program, which gives you the opportunity to build that network of 55,000 people, it's all free. Then, I would hope that you would consider becoming a premier member. A premier member? Now you're throwing something else at me. Well, no. Premier membership is basically made up of HelpsNet members. These are people who have decided to join a club within the membership family. And since it's a club, there's dues. $10 yearly dues. Matter of fact, you do get certain benefits as a result of becoming a member. You'll have access to a weekly inspirational message. You'll be able to view and to post to what we call the praise reports page and a helpful hints page. And then there's a bulletin board. This is a forum where you, as a premier member, you can go to it and list your need. Now, what's significant about that is, like any forum that you go to on the internet, within the Helps Network, anybody can come and view the forum, can come and view the bulletin board. You do not have to be a premier member to see the needs that are on the bulletin board. In other words, every member of HelpsNet, even those outside of your own personal network, can view this bulletin board, and they can actually do something about it if they see a need posted that they really want to. But the forum is intended for the Premier members' use. Now, you can find out more about the Premier membership on our website. It's explained clearly. Now, be sure to talk with your sponsor. They'll be able to answer and get the answers to any questions that you might have. Hey, look, God bless you, and thank you so much for your interest in the Helps Network.